The county council is looking for this new building to do at least 3 things. One is to have a wow factor, similar to the one we get when we see the North Augusta Municipal Building. 2, provide just one place for Aiken County citizens to stop to do all their business. And 3 is to bring Aiken County into the future. As you can see, they've taken apart several pieces of these air conditioning units to get out the copper. Anytime you click on a link on Facebook, you're taking a risk. Brave. I'm not a virus, but I could have been. Most people around here are very concerned about the 2 dogs that we're told were inside at the time. Governor Nikki Haley is about to be here in just a few minutes, and as you can see, we've already got a full house. Officers will pull you over even if you are wearing your seatbelt, but you're not wearing it the right way. If you're wearing it with it under your shoulder, you could still get a ticket. So their advice, buckle up. Still to come, the key to happiness. Officials are conducting an experiment using the iPhone. Slowly but surely, this old home and everything in it will be gone. The piles of junk left by the man living there are the result of more than a decade of what inspectors call hoarding.
Unfortunately, it wasn't caught in time, and it got to the point where it's no return. The county has to condemn it and demolish it.
Neighbors say it's about time.
It has been a disgrace for over 17 years. I'm thankful something's being done about it.
Pretty much typical of a hoarding person.
Code Enforcement's Alton Johnson has worked nearly 100 hoarding cases in his 12 years with the county. He says hoarding is the result of a mental condition.
Any items they have, they keep, they won't throw away. Everything is valuable to them.
Cleanly shaven, the 78-year-old owner of the home, Don Barton, was allowed to watch as crews began to remove his things.
If you ask me if I was in distress, I'm in distress. Seeing what they're doing to us. Equipment.
Barton says everything in his home is there because he can do something with it. As a former welder, electrician, and war veteran, he's attached to his things.
That's all my airplane building stuff, Jason.
Amidst the wreckage of his home, Barton lived in a 3-by-3-foot section. The electricity was still on in here. He was still using the refrigerator, and as you can see, it's leaning up right against me. Now, you said there's a place here that he would wrap himself up under?
I'm more comfortable here than it's like camping in the open.
Even after being forced to leave his home of 35 years, Barton still doesn't think there's anything wrong. Do you consider yourself a hoarder?
Not really. Depends on what is considered a hoarder.
10 years old.
Lauren Brown reads the obituaries from a northern Alabama newspaper. The death of a 10-year-old boy sticks out. His grandmother was holding him in her arms when the storm struck, it reads.
Extremely lucky, but somehow not one member of my family was hit or lost their home.
Lauren has more than 800 miles under her belt after making a tornado relief road trip.
The only way I can describe it is it looked like bombs had been dropped everywhere.
In 5 days, Lauren was able to raise $4,000 and even more in supplies so she could bring relief to her family, friends, and the people hit hardest by the F5 tornado.
Just went straight up through.
Her grandmother was waiting for her at the first stop.
She was just so emotional and so happy that somebody was finally up there.
Though donations given by Aiken residents filled one of the churches missed by the storm. After seeing the destruction of her hometown, she says the area is going to need even more help. When it comes to thinking outside the box, Lauren is doing just that. She's made one shipment already, but she's going to go back down there and she's still collecting items to bring with her. Lauren is using Facebook, posters, and asking churches to help get the word out, and it's working. Look at all this stuff, from water bottles, bedding, food. The donations keep coming in.
This is a continuing effort that everyone, needs to participate in and, get people's lives back in order and back to normal.
One woman doing a small part to make a big difference in a national tragedy. The Savannah River Keeper's Tanya Bonatatabis is still putting her new home together, a 20-by-20 raft in the middle of the Savannah River.
I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
fun might be Tanya's word, but not everyone agrees.
I think it's a little crazy.
Ty Garvin just finished moving cinder blocks around the bottom of the river to hold her raft in place.
I think he's a nut. He just went 20 feet below the river.
The reason for all this crazy fun is to raise awareness about the Savannah River. Despite the beauty and the fun water activities that go on here every year, the Savannah River is the 4th most toxic river in the U.S. Tanya's working to clean it up, which is what puts her out here. She's pledged to stay on the raft until there are 500 new Riverkeeper members.
We're going to double our membership.
Do you think that's going to happen?
If the rest of my crew does their job, I certainly hope so.
In the meantime, living on this little raft won't be easy. Now this might look like it's just a tent, but it's not. Come here, take a look at this. That's right, it's the outhouse. Don't worry, the Riverkeeper will not be polluting. All waste goes into a tank underneath. Now, if you're interested in becoming a member, it costs between $35 to $1,000 a year. You'll become an advocate for the river, receive a newsletter, and even get discounts on events.
Anything over 500, they can come out and have dinner with me on the raft.
Whether you call it crazy or fun, Tanya says she'll stay out there for as long as it takes. At the end of this driveway off Furries Ferry Road is the home of Jesus Ivan Alonso. Investigators say he's the leader of the cocaine operation in Columbia County.
Tonight's seizure is among our largest seizures of drugs and money.
Investigators say they found 3 kilograms of cocaine in his car and more than $100,000 in cash, along with a gun in his home. This is the closest the people who live there would let us get. Neighbor Jim Smith says the arrests and charges come as a complete surprise.
If I would have known anything was going on down there, I would have been the first to pick up the phone and call the police.
Smith says he didn't make the call, but someone did. Lieutenant Sheriff Chocho says an anonymous tip led to a 6-month investigation that ended in a traffic stop. Investigators made the stop right here on the intersection of Furries Ferry and Evans to Lock Road. They believe the group was actually on their way to sell the cocaine they had on them. Jesus Ivan Alonso and Ventura Reyes Martinez were arrested and charged with trafficking cocaine. 20-year-old Rosa Mercado Gomez was also in the car. She is charged with possession of marijuana.
Made sure they didn't involve us, and that was for a reason. You know, don't involve your neighbors in your business, especially if it's illegal.
Behind this grand piano sits 16-year-old Conrad Tao. His green t-shirt and Converse shoes show his age, but when his fingertips touch the piano, the sound of age-earned experience fills the room.
Being a musician is really exciting because it provides a bridge of sorts to emotions places where I may not be so familiar, emotions that I might not have even experienced very much before.
Emotions composers like Stravinsky, Rachmaninoff, or Tchaikovsky might have felt. Tao has been a student of Juilliard since he was 8 years old. Sporting pigtails, 15-year-old Serena Zhang is making waves in the music community herself. She's considered gifted beyond her years.
I don't know, it feels really good to be able to express yourself through, without words, you know.
Expressing herself through Bach's Suite No. 3. The two will playfully recreate Korsakoff's Flight of the Bumblebee for Aiken residents, showcasing their talent as well as their musical wisdom. In Aiken, Christine O'Donnell reporting.